Hey there, beautiful people. MVC here. Hope you had a wonderful, wonderful week. All right, so we are on our current series, the CEO Chronicles, episode 12. Today we're going to talk about how to pivot your business. But first, as I always like to do, let's define the word pivot for those of you that don't understand it in the business context. It comes from the original definition. So let's think of, Hey, beautiful people. If your business is stuck at 10K a month, you want to start living in your 4-hour work week and live a life of abundance, or you're just getting started, then go ahead down below in the description and click on Rideshare Builder. You will have me for 1 hour to review your current business or plan, and I'll show you how to troubleshoot your way to financial freedom. Rideshare Builder School coming soon. Say your elbow, okay? Your elbow, I would say, is one of the easiest examples. You see here, my elbow is right here sitting on my hand. But if I wanted to go right or left, it can go forward, it can go back. It's not leaving position. It's not leaving my hand. It's just changing perspective, okay? So now when we think about a business pivoting, that means it stays open, but it changes perspective or direction. I'm going to give you a real life example. Now, if you were watching Rideshare 101, their other series, then you would know and understand how JumpRydz started. That's my rideshare company. We've been open for over 14 years now, and we survived COVID by pivoting. So let me paint the picture here. Okay, this is 2019. Business is going great. The month is January 2019. And all of a sudden, then we hear, so this has to be the end of January and then going into February, then we hear about COVID and schools are shutting down. Now, previously, before we turned into a rideshare, we were a van service where I was a transportation operator. Again, go back to Rideshare 101 playlist. And I owned vans, and I also partnered with other van transportation providers. So we serviced the area of Long Island, New York with child transportation through van service. We also had a couple of individual cars as well. But the main point is school shut down. And at that time, we were not licensed in New York City. We were not providing non-emergency medical transportation rides, only school transportation or transportation for kids, period. So, of course, when school shut down, kids didn't need a ride. They didn't need to ride to karate either. They didn't need to ride anywhere at all. So our business had to shut down. Now, what I could have done, which is what a lot of other businesses did, was they totally closed down operations and never reopened again. Those business owners may have opened up different businesses, but they shut down that name. I didn't do that. God had a different plan for me. So I decided to pivot. At the time, if you recall, the government was giving away what we call PPP loans that actually turned into grants. I was able to attain 2 of those, as well as an EIDL loan, I forgot, I'll put the definition here, but it's an SBA product. So I got 3 SBA products, okay? And I took those funds and I researched the rideshare industry, how to build a company like that, because in the back of my head, I was saying, you know what? If we're only servicing one type of client, that means we cannot survive if this happens again. So I have to have multiple income streams within the one business. So the name stayed open even during COVID. We weren't providing a transportation service, but we were collecting funds, collected those loans. I also collected other grants. I did crowdfunding. I did a lot of research. I hired people, and we created a brand new plan. And thus, we're licensed in New York City, and we're able to open about 2.5 years later. Okay, and start providing not only student transportation, but also non-emergency medical transportation. I also streamlined into corporate transportation because through procurement, we got our MWBE certification in New York City, and we got a contract with a New York City agency, and we were able to provide corporate transportation for those agents. So that was great. There were actually two agencies that we work for in New York City. So now we have corporate transportation, student transportation, non-emergency medical transportation. Then we started to run ads to do airport rides. So now that's 4 income streams. And then, of course, every now and again, you had families that would book carpools just, to go here and there with their kids, but they would book us because we have drivers with child safety seats. So the important thing about pivoting is that you realize that your business still has a purpose, but the direction of that purpose may change. So let me spell it out for you. The need for my business JumpRydz is to provide safe transportation for families. Remember, family is not just children. Family includes children, parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, whomever it is. And everybody goes their own way, whether it's going to work, whether it's going home from school or from work or to activities, whatever it is. Everybody needs a ride. So we're still solving the problem. But what we did was we decided to pick up some additional licensing, change our area, and increase our income streams. So pivoting is very, very important. Even in life, when you look at your life, let's say you go through a traumatic experience. So I'm going to be very open and honest here. I am currently married and have my first child. This is my second marriage. My first marriage was not so great, obviously, and that's why it ended. I'm glad it ended, though. But I didn't change my stance and say, I'm never getting married again. I pivoted. I pivoted my life and I said, you know what? What I'm going to do is work on me first. Maybe I had something to do with it. And if we're truly honest with ourselves, we are. Whenever there's an issue, you always need to self-reflect first before you start pointing fingers. Maybe not all of the blame is on others, but some of it has to be on you. I'll give you a quick example. I'll tell you exactly, just like in my previous marriage. The gentleman that I previously married, he wasn't for me. He wasn't great to me. And that's why God pushed him out of my life in the way that he did. However, what my mistake was choosing him to be my husband when he wasn't destined to be my husband. That's my fault. So I had to do some self-reflection and say, you know what? I need to make better choices. That's the only way I'm going to be able to pivot my life to the right perspective and keep living in my purpose. And remember, I always talk about this, even on the other social media platforms. Living in your purpose is the ultimate way to living life. Now, getting back to business, remember that it all interconnects. If you are a person that understands that when certain circumstances happen in your life that may not be positive, that could be an opportunity for you to pivot. The same way you may need to pivot your business, not close it down. Just think of a new perspective. Think of another way to still provide what product or service you have to solve other people's problems. All right? So I hope this information was helpful to you. You have a wonderful and blessed day. Bye-bye now.
Make sure you click the bell so you get the notifications and follow this page. Have a great day.